Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back once again to the Operational Intelligence Overview here at InsideAnalysis.com. My name is Eric Cavanaugh with the Bloor Group. I'll be your host for today's demonstration. We're very happy to have a couple gentlemen calling in all the way from Hamburg, Germany. We have Bjorn Graka and his partner Philip Take from GPredictive. So with that, Bjorn, let me hand it over to you and show us what you got.
Right. Thank you very much. Welcome to what we call the lead scoring. Have a look at this. This is Salesforce.com, which is our showroom, as we call it. What you see here is the lead list that you might, in a similar way, have in your own everyday work. So what is this lead list for? Of course, this is usually the list of all your new contacts that you have that you would like to turn into customers. Though this is only an example with a few leads in it, usually this list might comprise 1,000 or 10,000 contacts. So the question usually is, let's say you have 10,000 contacts in your list. And the question is, who am I going to contact and who is only wasting my time? So, of course, there is, usually after years in business, you know quite well, you've got a lot of experience, you know quite well where you're going to be more successful and where you're not going to be too successful. So usually there are special industries, and there is company sizes where you might be performing better than in other sizes, and things like this. Areas where people like to buy your product more than in other areas, and any pattern really you can think of. So, for example, what usually is done, if you have a look at this, I'm just ranking the list by turnover. So this is what is a typical thing to do. You rank your list by, let's say, turnover, and say, I'm going to start at the top of the list. And then you can say, here, Munich Bank, it's got the biggest turnover in this list, so this is the lead I'm going to call first. This might not be a bad idea, but usually it's not as simple as this. So because usually there is another thing, this might be the number of employees that is important. So then if you rank your list by the number of employees, you see the list is different, and the top lead is a pharmaceutical. So this of course is a contradiction to the list you had before. So the question is, what really is the best? So what we do is we've got an app that you can just load in Salesforce.com or in any other CRM system that you might have. And this app provides a lead score. And this actually is the chance to get into business with your prospect in this list. To derive the lead score, we have a pattern recognition that uses all the data in the database. And what we have is very, the latest machine learning algorithms that make use of the data in your database, of the existing business that you have. And we divide the data set in your successes and in the losses. And the pattern that we derive from that is the pattern that gives you an idea for the new lead in your list, for every new lead in your list, whether a contact is going to be is more probable to be a success or a loss. So what we can provide is the lead score for every lead that you have in your database, and if you rank your list by the lead score, then you can just concentrate on your very top leads in the list. The pharmaceutical company stays on top, but then there's this Handelskontor Bolze GmbH, TNT Chemical, comes third, and so this makes it very efficient, and usually our customers can increase their conversion rate by a 2 or sometimes even 3-digit percentage rate. And of course, through time, well, over time, usually, of course, you learn new things about your contacts. You might, there's a high lead score. You might call them, and you find out, oops, this company is not as big as I thought, so the turnover is a lot smaller, and maybe you have to decide, oh, this is not hot anymore, but it is cold. This of course should be recorded, and so after some time, it takes a little while, not too long. The lead score will be updated. We'll see if we've got enough time in this demo to see it, but there is usually within a few minutes you get the new lead score. So after you put in your new information, shortly after that, you'll have an updated list and see that TNT Chemical has moved from top to the bottom. So this is what the lead scoring is all about. Optimizing your lead work, your work on acquiring new customers. As you can see, very easy to handle. Just click just click, say yes, I want to have it, and just a few minutes later, you're ready to go, and then you can optimize your work on new contacts. Thank you.
Oh, I'm just sorry about that. I was on mute. I wanted to ask you, what are some of the other factors that you're including? What are the dimensions that you include in your in the predictive models that you use?
Right, good question. We use every information that is available in the database, especially, of course, the information that you would look at first usually is the one that has the most predictive power in the statistical models as well. So usually there is no big surprise for this. So typically a model comprises 5 to, let's say, 10 variables. That might be the industry, let's say the area, the zip code, and the size of the company in let's say, in turnover or number of employees. These are very typical variables. And sometimes, of course, companies, they have very specific businesses, and it might be 1 or 2 very specific variables, but those can be incorporated in those models by just selecting them from a list as well. So there's no integration work to be done if you have something very specific.
And what about, does it learn over time through data gathered from Salesforce, like when you actually get customer wins? Like let's say you never got too much traction in manufacturing, for example, but
right.
Then you get 5 or 6 or 7 sales in manufacturing is recorded through Salesforce. Does your model take that into consideration and alter its predictive capabilities to skew more toward manufacturing then?
Right, it does, yes. The algorithms that we employ, they are self-learning, as we call it. That means exactly what you just explained. So whenever a pattern changes over time, the algorithms will see that happened, and the predictions or the lead scoring will be altered after that. So there might be many reasons. For example, a competitor of yours going into an area, and you see that it's becoming harder to sell there, then the lead scores will in that area will go down usually, and that will be usually within a few days that you have in the database. A few days of work, and then the algorithms will make the change.
And then here's another question: does the engine itself also track trends on a more industry-wide level? In other words, let's say you have 10 marketing firms that are all using this tool. The data that's being used to generate predictions for each one of those customers, is any of that in some sort of anonymized way shared back to your models, such that, for example, there's maybe a rise in retail sales in a particular segment? Anyone who caters to that segment, will they also benefit from a change in the model that will help them identify this market trend? Or does each customer installation only have the data in their database used to generate their predictive models?
Right. Well, due to data privacy, you can't really, not even in an anonymous way, make use of insights you have from one customer and share that with others. That is very difficult. Sometimes our customers ask exactly this question, and they would absolutely not appreciate it if we did it. But what we do is we sometimes, what we do is regularly, really, we enrich the data and add information which is publicly available to improve the models, which could be exchange rates and growth rates and all this. But that is something that all of the customers, of course, will benefit from.
Okay, great. And you said that this is it's basically a services model, or not a services model, but it's a pay-as-you-go model, right? So the customers pay, I think you said before we started the recording of the demo, it's 20-seat minimum and what, 25 euros per seat per month?
Yeah, that's right, yes. Right, there is no upfront fee, no license. It's just pay-as-you-go, as you said, and there is no minimum term, so you can just order it, and whenever you say, I don't want this anymore, or I'm changing my business, you can just cancel it anytime.
Okay, great. And you also had a slide with your contact details. Do you want to go ahead and put that slide back up again so people can see your contact information?
Right. Here we go.
All right.
There it is.
Okay.
So yeah, we're based in northern Germany.
And do you
we're
have
based
many?
In Germany, near Hamburg.
Yeah, go ahead. Do you have many clients outside of Germany, in the Eurozone, or anything in the United States?
Not in the United States yet, but we have a lot of international customers, and what we see is that usually business is quite global anyway. At least in the Western countries. So yeah, we've got quite a few customers all around this place, and what we have is usually our customers are based in Germany, but nevertheless, there's quite some international work to do because they, of course, have subsidiaries outside of Germany, and yeah, so we used to working outside of Germany as well. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, folks, we've been talking to Bjorn Graka, CEO, and Philip Take, Head of Sales at GPredictive. Thank you so much for your time today, gentlemen. All right,
Thank you.
Care.
Thank you very much.